Motion to adopt tonight's agenda.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Is there anyone here for public comment on any closed session items? Seeing none, we are going to adjourn to closed and we will resume at 6:30. Okay, we are going to get started. Welcome, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to our October 14th meeting of the Roseville Joint Union High School District. We are going to reconvene to open session now with the Pledge of Allegiance. Go ahead and rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, so we have just a little bit of business from closed session, some votes that we need to take on item 2.1. There's 4 separate items, so we'll start with case 02-2526. Do we have a motion on that?
I'd like to make a motion to approve case 02-2526.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
Then I'd like to make a motion to approve case 03-2526.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? No. Okay.
Then I'd like to make a motion to approve case number 05-2526.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Then I'd like to make a motion to approve case 06-2526.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? No. All right, moving on to item number 2.2, which is case 04-2526.
I'd like to make a motion to approve case 04-2526.
I'll second.
Motion and a second, and all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
No one is, anyone opposed? All right, and then finally, item 2.3, in a 5-0 vote, the board voted to readmit a student back into the Roseville Joint District. That was case 01-2526. And that concludes our closed session. All right, moving on to our meeting protocols. The Board of Trustees encourages public participation during the meeting and requests civility in the use of courteous language. The board does not condone the use of profanity, vulgar language, gestures, or other inappropriate behavior, including personal attacks or threats directed towards any meeting participant and/or district employee. There will be an opportunity to speak to the Board of Trustees on items not on the agenda during the public comment section, as well as opportunities to speak to each item on the agenda when that item comes up for consideration. In the interest of facilitating the conduct of the public's business, members of the public who wish to address the board during the meeting will have specific time limits as follows. If we have less than 10 members of the public, you will get 3 minutes to speak, and if 10 or more members of the public wish to comment, you will have 90 seconds. Any complaints about specific employee or employees of the district should be made to that employee's immediate supervisor or the school site principal as outlined in our board policy and administrative regulation. Please complete the comment form located on the table in the lobby, and we will call on you when it is your turn to speak. This meeting is being audio and video recorded and will be archived, and this meeting will be live streamed for viewing only, and link to the live stream can be found at rjuhsd.us live stream. All right. Item 4, reports and communications. Board expectations. I did not assign anyone ahead of time to do this. Are there any volunteers to read the board oh, Nico, look at that. All right, our student board member is going to read item 4.1 for us.
Board expectations, prepare all students for life, college, and career, high-quality academic opportunities for all students, support students' academic success, engage in partnership with families and the community, the school's welcoming, safe environment that serves as a center of student learning, activities, athletics, and performing arts, promote a sense of community in our schools and the surrounding areas, utilize effective governance and business practices, remain open, transparent, and accountable to the community, serve as an employer of choice with the highest qualities, teachers, and staffs.
right, thank you so much for that. Okay, board reports. We will start with our normal pattern of trustee Constant, and then we'll go down the row unless there's anybody wanting to go first tonight. Nobody? All right, you.
I'll be quick, no report.
Easy. Pete's favorite type of report. All right, trustee Coleman,
Okay,
you're
well,
up.
I'll take Pete's time then. So
Perfect.
we've had 5 weeks since our last board meeting here. So there's been a few things that have been going on, and I'll just share a few of those. Principal Saren welcomed Assistant Superintendent Carrows and I to Roseville High School, where we talked about the rising CAS scores there, their growing enrollment, the avid success that they've had, and the improved school safety that they've had, especially in their bathrooms. Principal Saren highlighted the Roseville's phone policy implementation, and at Roseville High School, it is no phone from first bell of the class to the last bell of the class. Even if there's a few extra minutes in the class period, students don't get their phones until they leave, the last bell rings. She said that the results have been, quote, amazing, with overwhelming positive feedback. And then we concluded our visit at Roseville High School with a VIP tour from our own Scott Davis of the construction happening at Roseville High School, and it's so impressive and exciting. Just really thrilling to see what's happening there. At Antelope High School, Principal Cutts welcomed Assistant Superintendent Carrows and myself. We met Antelope's new SRO, Officer Rowland, and she is building such positive relationships there on Antelope's campus. Principal Cutts said that the implementation of the district phone policy has resulted in a, quote, night and day difference in the classrooms on Antelope's campus. I observed there, Principal Cutts took me around, I observed a couple of IM1 math classes, one that was co-taught and one that was team-taught, and 3 English 12 course options showcasing the different avenues that Antelope is offering their students for success there at the high school. Most importantly, a student on Antelope's campus said I look like a boss lady, and so I was sure to go home and tell everybody in my family that, and you're welcome to call me that as well, but I love that student. So Principal Bell welcomed me to my home school, Wood Creek High School, and she shared 2 seemingly simple adjustments at Wood Creek High School that have had big impacts. One was implementing the district phone policy and enhanced bathroom monitoring. She said that the phone policy has been, quote, a game changer. It is amazing. The phone policy has reduced campus wandering mid-class and made for incredible classroom engagement. This, in connection with their very dedicated bathroom monitoring, has helped Wood Creek High School meet our board expectations of providing a welcoming and safe campus. We also admired the new softball fields. We spoke with Officer Valdivia, and we discussed Wood Creek's role in supporting district-wide growth. Then, along with Trustee Hall, Superintendent Becker, and Assistant Superintendent Landon, I met with representatives from the City of Roseville and Roseville City School District to build organizational relationships and make sure the city is aware of how the city's growth is impacting our school district and how we can work better together. And then, along with Trustees Hall and Schutz, attended the Aldo Panesci Golf Tournament, and want to thank Assistant Superintendent Landon for organizing that, which was a record scholarship. What is the word? Revenues. Revenues is that the right word, Mr. Accountant? Revenues. So that was great. So, and I appreciated the opportunity to meet with our RSEA Board President, Brandon Del Ordo, and discuss our shared goals for building trust between our schools and families. And I will conclude with that.
All right, thank you, boss lady. That was a great report. She had some of mine, so I will keep mine even shorter. But we did, as a board, meet, I guess it was just a week or so ago, for a governance training, which I found really interesting, and we learned just a few little procedural things that were helpful. I got to attend voter outreach at Roseville High School, 2 weeks ago, and I'll be at Oakmont High School tomorrow for high school voter outreach, which is one of my favorite things. The students are always so engaged and have great questions, and I always leave feeling very encouraged. I was also able to attend the homecoming parade, where I got to drive our Grandmaster Venzel Brown, who led the parade. That was really fun. I'd never been able to meet him. He was a Roseville High graduate of, I won't say the year so that you guys know his age, but he was very sweet and a huge contributor to our community. And we did this whole parade. It was a big day, and I asked him, what are you doing for the rest of your day? He was like, I'm going to the homecoming game tonight. I have a pass for all Roseville sports, and I go to everything. So he was very sweet. And then I was also able to attend what was called the Livability Summit. And it had actually very little to do with our school district specifically, but I was able to chat with the superintendent of Sierra College. He was there discussing to the group our dual enrollment programs, and he was just giving very huge props to our district and specifically to our superintendent for how we have grown our DE programs and how that is helping with workforce development and livability in the Sacramento region. So it was very big props to our staff and our superintendent, and he just wanted me to pass that along. So that's about it. We'll move on.
It has been a busy month, and I'm going to try to mention different things, and I can't believe I also have my own list. I attended in the last month the TEDx at Wood Creek High School, student run and student speakers. I so enjoyed it, and I was so impressed that there were students that drove up from the Bay Area to speak at this TEDx event. So I appreciate all the hard work. It sounds like they may not be doing it next year. Maybe everyone's graduating, but I enjoyed it very much. I was able to visit with Lisa Boss at Roseville Adult School, and I don't see her, but up there. And I would like to continue to keep an eye out on the funding issues that we talked about, and we need to dialogue on that. Lisa. Attended the voter outreach at Adelante, which I also enjoyed very much, and just afterwards they came up, some of the students had some questions. They were very quiet during that time, and then they rushed the tables. Yesterday I sat in on a dual enrollment webinar led by Dr. Isabella Gouveia. I'm not sure if she's in here. She did a great job. There she is, hiding. And sorry, I surprised her, I think, when they saw my name pop up. I was just trying to be a fly on the Zoom call. But I learned about assist.org, which is something as a parent I had no idea, and I just appreciate that our ed services are taking that extra effort to educate our parents and community and how to navigate between dual enrollment and AP and what classes should we take and where do my students want to go, and this website was just fabulous. Just the bit of time that I worked on, and I appreciate you're working on that for our community. So, and I'll pass on.
Awesome. I definitely a lot of overlap in activities. I was also able to attend invited to attend the Wood Creek TEDx program. Really professional. A lot of great motivating speakers there. Hopefully they'll continue it on, and seniors did a great job. A few of us mentioned the voter outreach program. So we were invited, for those of you who do not know, it's through the Placer County Elections Office, trying to outreach to high schools to get students to register to vote, 18-year-old seniors. And you can even early vote if you're 17, or early register to vote if you're 17, so when you're ready, as soon as you hit your birthday. So it's great they invite elected officials to be there, and I think it's most relevant to have your local elected board members at those. And it's really great to hear from the students. They have a lot of great questions, and it's really, really good experience. Great work with the Aldo Beneshi golf tournament this year. I'm glad to hear we hit record numbers. It was a great turnout. I didn't play, but heard it was an awesome event. And I'm glad to see all that money is going towards our students and scholarships. And I want to thank all the sponsors that were contributing this year to support that tournament and keep it going. I didn't play, but I got to shoot the air cannon in one of the holes where they, if you bought that certain package, you could shoot a golf ball. I was like, that's a great idea, so hopefully we'll see that again next year. But with that, that's in my report.
All right, thank you. And then for our student board members, yep, just make sure to turn those on. Are you hearing us okay? Were we getting a need to be louder? Just one mic is being a little glitchy. Okay, Nico, you are good to go.
So, kind of a long report for me, because this past month at West Park has been really, really busy. It's been really, really good. I think it was last week or the week before, we had probably the biggest dance of the year at West Park, our homecoming dance. It was absolutely amazing. The student turnout on it was really well. I was really like impressed on how many people actually went to the dance. And even then, during the week leading up to the dance, our HOCO floats, and then my favorite part was most definitely the parade and the rally. The community involvement during the parade was absolutely amazing. Like, you'd be walking in the parade and you'd see literally all the streets lined up with people from the community going around and having fun. And then we would come back, go into our rally, and that's where every one of our grade levels got to showcase the dance that they've been working on the whole year. Not the whole year, sorry, the whole week leading up into that. Their skit dance, and they were all pretty funny. Freshmen, they did like, they had something to do, they had a guy in a Scooby-Doo costume for one of them. I remember the seniors had like a football formation for a little bit in the back, so it was pretty well, it was pretty good. The rally went pretty well. And then our homecoming game that day was really, I really enjoyed it. I'm sure everyone else enjoyed it. It was peak out themed, as per tradition. And another big thing is tomorrow, West Park is hosting the College and Career Fair, which we host every year. I think it'll be 150 plus colleges and career settings in our big and small gym. So if you can get aspects of your different points in life. If you don't want to go to college, you can go to the small gym and see what are readily available to you, like trade school and all that stuff. So I'm pretty excited. I hope everyone is excited for that. All our sports have been doing pretty well, which is always a good thing to talk about. And our fall play is around the corner. It is Trap. It's a psychological thriller, and I mean, it sounds good. So I don't know. West Park has done really good this year. Amazing, and I'm really excited to see what's next for this next board meeting. So I'll pass it on to Shepard.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. A lot has happened at Roseville High School within the last month. We just got done with midterms, so we're on to the second quarter now. But within the past month, lots of stuff has happened, and I'm going to share the highlights of. First, we had homecoming week, which was towards the end of September. It was a chaotic week, but it was very fun though. On Friday, we had our parade, which was led by Vincent Brown, which was already mentioned. We did it was a pretty different route from usual because we had, because of construction going on Campo Street, we couldn't go through there. So we had to go around the front of the school instead. It worked out well, and it was pretty enjoyable. Students had a lot of fun. Then, at the end of the day, we had our rally, which is also super fun. Then we also had the football game, which was very exciting. We won 62-8 against Deer Valley. Yeah, the theme was camo theme because we were playing Deer Valley. So it fit pretty well with the game. It was like one of our highest scoring games, and our tradition, whenever we score a field goal or touchdown, we have someone do a push-ups, and one of our students did 62 push-ups. It's pretty impressive. Then we had our dance on Saturday. It was Saturday the 27th. It was pretty fun. Everyone had a good time. We had to like structure a bit different, like I said with the parade, because usually students would enter through the front of the school. Sorry about that. The front of the school, but instead everyone's entering through the gates of the football stadium and entering through the wayside and around and towards the gym. So I thought that worked out pretty well. Also on October 1st, we had senior workshops. So seniors at Roseville High School could choose to attend 2 different workshops, whether it's at CSU, UC, out of state, private, and Sierra College, and community college transfer, community college and trade school, military, school to work, apprenticeships, you name it. The workshops went pretty well, I thought. And it was interesting to know about the process and to know what you're going to be doing after high school, because it's a lot of like thinking and to prepare for your future. So I thought the workshops were pretty well handled. 2 of the workshops I attended were a community college transfer program and CSU application. I thought they were very informational and helped me learn about the process, and very good step towards my future. Coming up soon, we have at the end of the month on October 30th, we have our Think Pink rally and for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's an annual tradition we have at our amphitheater. Usually we have a few guest speakers come and talk about their experience having breast cancer. And it's very like emotional to like hear about their stories, but inspirational at the same time. And everyone wears pink to show their support for the cause. And it's usually a fun time. We also have games and stuff too. And also on November 7th, we have our Veterans Breakfast where we support our veterans. And with the breakfast, usually these veterans, they've served in the military, whether it's Iraq, Afghanistan, Vietnam, or even World War II, and all types of veterans come to Roseville High School, enjoy some pancakes, and feel very supported. And to honor the veterans, last year we had an assembly to honor them in the gym, and we had like dance and band and perform. It's awesome to see the support. But this year we're changing it up, so this year it's just gonna be a pancake breakfast. We're still gonna do the performances from like band and dance and all that, but next year we're gonna be doing the big assembly. I know I'm not gonna be at Roseville next year since I'm a senior and I'm graduating, but it's nice to see our veterans get support. Make sure and thank them for their service, because no matter how long they served, they're still a veteran. And that's pretty much about it. Thank you.
All right, thank you, gentlemen, that was awesome. Next, we have our superintendent's report.
All right, well, good evening, everybody. Just wanted to quickly cover a few items. One, just again, the Aldo Panesci Scholarship Golf Tournament. Again, record number of revenue this year, so that's great because that's all student scholarships to our outgoing seniors. But I really just wanted to personally thank the committee behind the scenes, which is Joe Landon, Ryan Ronco from Placer County Elections, Melissa G., our Judy Fisher, Tony Fan, Andrew Sisk, Holly Romero, Kirk Euler, Carol Garcia, Lisa Kramer. There might be a few others, but that's the list, the people I see the most. But they're the ones beyond the day that are planning this behind the scenes and doing the legwork for nothing more than to give our kids scholarships. And we sold out this year, so I just wanted a special thank you to the planning committee and the Panesci family, again, for bringing in close to $25,000-30,000 annually for scholarships for our students. So again, big thank you to them. Earlier this week, we had the release of CASP and LPAC scores officially in the state of California, and I'm pleased to announce we had gains across the board. 5.5% in math, percentage points, 3.25 percentage points in language arts, 2.5 in science, and our English learners on the LPAC also had a 1 percentage point gain for EL students. So I'm really pleased with that. And really that goes out to our teachers, our Ed Services Department for their dedication and commitment, and then our site principal leadership of just getting out there and seeking student outcomes every day. So again, that's a district-wide success for us last year, and I just appreciate all those involved in it because it's recognition of their efforts. Next, we have dual enrollment. Tu and her team get to spend a lot of time in this area here, but what's coming out recently is the fact that RJUHSD is now kind of the new standard in the region, both through the community college system and in our county, in terms of our unprecedented growth in dual enrollment. 3 years ago, we had 17 sections. This year, we have 142. So that is super impressive, and that is serving 3,800 students in those classes. So again, because of that, people are taking notice, and they're showing up to our district to find out how we are doing it and how they can achieve that same standard. So that goes to our Ed Services team. And again, it doesn't happen if our teachers aren't getting master's degrees in the content area, and so many of them are doing that. Bless their hearts for that commitment, but that is the reason why there's 142 courses, is because our teachers are out hustling and getting those master's degrees to be able to do that and then work collaboratively with Sierra College. So again, huge thanks to our teachers and everybody involved in that. And last and most importantly, one of the big things tonight is before we get to the item, I'm going to use my time here, is I just want to take a moment to recognize and congratulate Brad Basham, who has officially announced his retirement, effective June 30th, so he's not off the clock yet. 2026, we're not even in that calendar year yet, so he has plenty of work to do. Flood him with it. But from his beginnings as a classroom teacher, that's awesome. The best part is he has his Oakmont ID in one of the emails to the board recently, so that was a kick too. But he's had a remarkable 37-year career, which has been defined by his deep commitment to students, staff, and families here in the Roseville community. His leadership has always reflected empathy and humility, and he has elevated our human resources department to a first-class organization and system, meeting the constantly ever-evolving HR landscape, especially in the past 5 years. I am truly grateful for his many contributions, including 19 years as a colleague. That's the blessing in it for me, and the lasting impact he has made across our district. May you enjoy all the well wishes you will receive and the many rocking chairs delivered to you through your closing ceremonies, but you get to enjoy the family over here, including your grandson. You can see Brad's twin and mini twin over there, but that's the best part, and enjoy a second home in Amador, and But I'm a little jealous, but it's also a huge congratulations that you were able to submit that resignation and we get to celebrate it with you. That's it.
I need to, will you guys hold up the faces again? Oh, yeah, and have Brad go over there. No?
Go for the photo.
Yeah, come on. Right? There we go. Those are the best. Okay. Next, we have item 4.5, committee reports. I don't believe any committees met, no? And then 4.6, our RSEA report.
Oh, it's on. There it goes. I'd like to thank a couple things. First, Marla and Tiffany for a chance to meet, along with Bill I've met, and Heidi. And we're going to go, Pete, next week, I guess, and meet and finally have a chance to kind of connect some dots and talk about the things that make our district great. And one of them is indeed people like Brad, who not only has been incredible at leading this district in the human resources area, but is actually a product of this district. And what we do is we turn out amazing people who want to come back here and continue to contribute to this area. And that's something that I think is really not necessarily very common in a lot of places in the world, that we have incredible people who want to come and give back and kind of see that the things that they were able to receive are continued out for future students in the process. So he is going to hear a lot of different accolades when we have our official kind of celebration later on. I asked some teachers to tell me things to talk about, and I thought, well, since Pete's already said he's not going to have much of a comment tonight and want to go longer, the only real comment I got was, you owe a lot of people money, supposedly, from your time in the district. So I have had the pleasure of working along with Brad since my very first official day at Oakmont High School, when we, in essence, played basketball, and I got to know him way back then. We've been friends, and I wouldn't say adversaries, but we've sat at different sides of the table, and one of the things I've always appreciated is Brad has always put people first, and he's always put the goal of what we're trying to do in the prime kind of focus of where we're going. And Brad has always been incredibly easy to talk to, and he's followed a string of people from Pat Godwin through Don Janassi and Glenn DeGraw, and even Steve Williams. And I would say that he is possibly the best that we've ever had, except Steve is actually in the room. And if you don't know Steve, Steve is one of the most competitive men ever, so I'm afraid I would be tackled on the way out. So we'll say Brad is the second best we've ever had in human resources, but he has been an incredible partner in this process. And I also have to applaud that you are moving towards, and I hope it goes through, so I hope I don't jinx it, by replacing with someone else in the future, Rob Hasty, who has also done an amazing job. If you feel that somebody who is coming up to take Brad's spot might be too close to the RSA, I could use reverse psychology and say, don't hire Rob. Not just don't do it, because we hate him, and he will negotiate hard and make sure that Rob is going to do an incredible job in this process too. So I have a whole lot of hope for where the future of the district's going. On a separate note, I want to make sure that as we're talking about wonderful things in the DE world, I want to make sure that we're kind of monitoring how big this grows. The process and the success has been incredible. My worry is that it's becoming very, very big, and we got to keep an eye on everything that's happening, because our partnership with Sierra means a partnership with Sierra. We are no longer in the driver's seat for everything we do, and there's a handful of logistic things I want to make sure that we keep talking through. And Dr. Karos has been amazing, Amy Black, and Josh, so we're continuing to have conversations as we make this process, because it does put a different kind of strain and stress, as all the principals will tell you, on our master schedule process in terms of how we actually do it and what we're doing for our kids. So I want to make sure we just keep an eye on all those successes as we move forward in this process. And other than that, I hope you will go ahead and vote through the process and honor Brad with a great predecessor, and then a following person who's going to come up behind him and do just as well. Steve, I didn't mean anything bad about you. You did an amazing job too.
All right, thank you. So at this time, we can take any public comment. I don't see any cards. If anybody, as we lead into our item 6, which is that consent agenda, where we have item 6.9, if there are any family members or anyone who wanted to give public comment, or anyone with your cutout faces want to do like a dance? All right. Any board members? I'll just say a few things, and then we will take our consent item, or our consent agenda to vote. But, I mean, Mr. Basham has been here the whole 5 years that I've been on this board, and you've always just been this calm and steady presence and delightful to work with, and we've talked a lot about how we've had just successful contract negotiations, and everything runs very smoothly because of you, and we've had great fun at many high school graduations together, and my very best photo of my son and I, you took that, like, right on stage. He's Johnny on the spot, always ready in a pinch, and so it's just been a great experience that I don't take for granted. Having never been on any other board, I hear from many other local areas who compliment how highly functional our board is, and a lot of that is because of our partnership with you. So we thank you, we'll miss you, and I guess we'll have to vote on this, but we hate to see you go. So if anyone has anything they want to say, or we can.
I just want to say I also just really appreciate what you've lent to our community in Roseville. Just the passion and professionalism, and I've just really enjoyed getting to know you the last 3.5 years. And you are in my picture as I handed my daughter's diploma to her, and there you are right in the background. So you will always be a presence. He didn't take a picture of me, but I got one of him. But I just thank you, and I wish you just loads of fun with your grandson and your family in retirement.
You know, the saddest part of this is I'm going to be the only old guy left in the meeting, so, and I'll save the rest for the retirement roast.
Yes, someone wants to. Okay. Did you want to come and say something? Okay. Come on up.
Hi, my name is Tanya Baldwin. I want to cry, but I shouldn't. I just want to say thank you. You were the principal when both my children, Nancy Baldwin, or Macias, sorry. Nancy Macias was a student at Roseville High School, and Theodore Baldwin were both students there, and he was the principal. And I was just having a flash thought of the time when, because then I was a paraeducator, so we're all connected here. And I'm just having a flash memory of how humble he, Mr. Basham, that he would be out there picking up the trash when all the kids were finished with lunch or what have you. And I'm watching this guy in a full-on suit with formal clothing, and he's got his outfit on, and he's over there picking up trash like it's nothing, putting it over there, saying hi to everybody. They all knew him. I mean, it's just amazing. So anyway, sorry to interrupt and make this longer, but I recently lost my parents, and I want to thank you for the card that you sent that said, that gave your well wishes to the family. So just thank you for being so kind, and I know I can see it in your family that you passed that on, and then also into the children. You've got my daughter here who's also trying to carry it on. So as you said, this district is so awesome that we just want to keep coming. And so now look at me, I'm with Mr. Steve Williams' help, became a teacher, because that was a long, crazy road that took me to get there too, but thank you. That's all.
Thank you so much.
I'll just add a couple of thoughts. Part 1 is what this is, right? Because we've got a few months to go, but I'm just really appreciate, Brad, what you've done to welcome me, help me become accustomed to the board. You've been so patient and kind in working with me, explaining policy, helping me understand the way things work in such a respectful and kind and understandable way. And I've really, really appreciated that. And you really are a man of integrity, and I appreciate what you've done for our community and for our district. I have one recommendation, and that is that you start growing your hair now so that when you leave the district, you will leave the way that you came into the district as a student at Oakmont High School.
That would be so cool. Okay. All right. Any other thoughts? Are we ready to take our vote on this item? Our consent agenda, of course, accompanies lots of things, but we kind of wanted to highlight that one.
I'll make the motion, I'll make the motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second, and we will do a roll call vote on this one. Trustee Constant?
Yep.
Trustee Coleman?
Yes.
Trustee Hall, yes. Trustee Franz?
Yes.
And Trustee Schutz?
Yes.
And then our student board members, 2 yeses. All right, that passes with a 5-0 vote and 2 student board members. And we will move right on to item number 7. Oh, yeah. There we go. Okay. Where's your banner? Okay. The cutout faces are amazing. Okay, I need to scroll a bit, and we will get to item 7, which is our action matters. 7.1, appointment of assistant superintendent. Do you already have to work again, Brad? Is this you? Do you present this?
Yeah, I'll take this
Oh,
one.
okay, I thought we were already gonna make you work.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, so the purpose of this item is to appoint the Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, to appoint Rob Hasty as our new Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources. You could see there's a lot there on Rob's background, and I won't go through all of it, but I will say a few things that he is widely respected in this school district. I've had the pleasure, just like with Brad, of working 19 years with Rob. The tremendous opportunity of Rob to be an assistant principal with me when we opened Antelope High School. And I can say I'm not sitting here today making this appointment if Rob's not my assistant principal at Antelope High School. So that's how confident I am. To me, it's an easy transition to go through the rest of the school year, working with Brad to ease in and transition this department, because it's a great department, it's growing, and there's just so many challenges out there, and the continuity of leadership, as you can see with the people in this room especially, is going to be so important for the organization. So, like I said, it was a no-brainer in my mind. When Brad talked about his resignation, it was next person up is Rob. And so I didn't need to look anywhere else besides having Rob in this position. And you could see the head nods, they would all concur in the audience. So recommendation from staff is to appoint Rob Hasty as our new Assistant Superintendent of HR, effective, I believe, July 1, 2026.
Yes. Okay. Any questions from the board? Any comments? I know Pete, okay, comments. Go for it.
Well, I've known Rob for a while. I met Rob when my wife and I were contemplating moving up here from out of the area, and we came to Oakmont High School, and we were really impressed by the fact that he pretty much dropped everything and spent a bunch of time with me and my wife walking around Oakmont and telling us all the great things about Oakmont and the district. And it really made it a lot more comfortable to be making the 45-minute drive from West Park to Oakmont, knowing that Rob was there. So I had the opportunity to see him as a, sorry, I'm not sick, my back hurts really bad, that's why I'm having trouble concentrating. So I had the opportunity to work with him as a parent and watch him deal with my kids, which sometimes was harder than others, I know, because I've got a bunch of them. And I remember that chat we had when I walked across the parking lot from here to come over to talk to you as you were getting ready to apply for the director position. And I'm glad you made that decision. Brandon almost talked me out of voting for you since the RSEA, they trying to mess things up in HR. But I'm very happy. Don't screw up between now and July 1st. All right. And with that, I'd like to make a motion to approve this.
I'll second the motion, but I'd also like to make a comment.
Yes, comment time.
I'm also pleased to support Rob in this new position, and I really appreciate Brad helping to make this a smooth transition for him. Something I'll note about Rob is, I don't know how many times I have heard Rob say to me, if you need anything, if I can help you in any way, just let me know. And he has said that with sincerity. He's been very genuine, and I've taken him up on that, and I really appreciate that. So I look forward to continuing to work with you and appreciate your commitment and desire to continue to work in our district.
Right down there?
Yeah, so I'd like to, a couple things. Rob, we've known you since Oakmont principal days. My kids have gone through there, and I know some of the things you miss of the student aspect of your job, but I think it's so great so many of our administrators have been in that role at the school level, because I think gives you a great perspective of the job you're doing now. Anyways, well, we haven't voted yet, but very excited about this move, and Brad moving on to new adventures, but not until July and June.
All right.
I can always say something, but
Okay.
I feel like I don't have to. I have just always appreciated how energetic you always are with me in wanting to provide help and just talk about whatever issue, and I know that exudes with everything that you do, and I congratulate you on the nomination of it.
All right, I second all of that. And we have a motion and a second, and so we will go ahead and take a vote. So all those in favor, this is not a roll call vote. So all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? All right, congratulations, Rob. Yay. Yeah.
They all clap until you discipline them.
He just can't wait to no longer have to do the COVID plan, prevention plan, and hand that off to someone else.
Right? Yeah. What would have been really cool is if we would have coordinated and we had the Rob cutout faces up here. Okay, let me see here. We are moving along to item 7.2, public employee employment, and that's also going to Mr. Becker.
Yeah, so we're at the third and concluding year for our contracts for our assistant superintendents, at least for 3 of them, and then obviously one of our newly appointed assistant superintendents. So this is, it's new for Rob, renewal for the others, but it's to bring 3-year contracts effective July 1, 2026 out to June 30th, 2029. And again, the continuity of our leadership, especially in the cabinet levels, is so important to this district and our relationships that you've heard. And this allows us to continue that continuity and keep really good people in good positions to serve our students and our staff.
And I know we have one comment. and some
Yeah,
more.
I just want to say that I appreciate the progress that's been made. I want to talk about the contracts, not the people, but I love you guys too. But when I came here, every contract we had for every employee was different. Different days, different this, different that. And one of the goals the board set, I don't know, probably 4 years ago, was to figure out a way to get all of our contracts, especially for our executive leadership to be coordinated, to be the same. And a key part of that was not just for the consistency and the continuity and the fairness to everybody involved, but to bring certainty to our folks in leadership, but also to separate the contract terms from the terms of our employees, because we had our executive leadership team that was involved at various aspects in negotiating contracts with our employees, which then impacted their contracts. And we know we have great people, and that didn't create a conflict, but that's one of those recipes for disaster in the future, because you never know what may happen. And so that was something that we talked about, and we worked to figure out how we could remove that that conflict or potential conflict and improve the contract terms for the employees as well. And I think we were able to accomplish that. It took some time, especially when we had contracts going at all different cycles, and we've hired a few people during that. But I just want to say how appreciative I am to the superintendent for taking that input from the board and really making it happen. And so I appreciate that. And of course, I appreciate all you guys. But as you know, the contracts are the stuff I'm really interested in. So thank you.
All right, go ahead.
I'll just add to that, over the past couple, almost 2 years since I've been here now, I'm consistently truly impressed and grateful for the work that each one of you does. I am amazed, and I genuinely mean that, at the work. As I read the Friday updates every week, it's just jam-packed, and I don't know how you fit in everything that you fit in the leadership that you offer to our district. I have so much confidence in each one of you and appreciate what you've done to help me understand and help me in my role. And I appreciate that Superintendent Becker has attracted and hired such a stellar team. And I just look forward to supporting you in voting yes on this contract and continuing to work with you.
Any other thoughts down there?
Just one comment. Thank you. I mean, every week it's evident, you know, in everything we have before us, you make our job as board members easier. I think we are collectively one big governance team. We have our different roles, but we definitely rely on you, a lot of what you give us to make the tough decisions. So thank you for everything. I'll just leave it at that.
Yes, you guys are amazing. And what I love the most, I could repeat all of those things, but I think what is so evident is that you all really love what you do. And even though it's hard and stressful at times, your passion and your joy for what you do shines through. And it's really remarkable, because it could be something that, you know, over the years could bog a person down with the level of stress that you all have. But because you genuinely love it so much, it seems like you guys just have so much positive energy, and it makes this a very desirable district, so.
And I also just really appreciate it. Thank you for keeping our kids safe, well-educated, our district financially just really a powerhouse. I feel like just how well it's run, and then just the staff and how we attract everyone. And I appreciate it for our kids and our community. Thank you.
All right, with that, I think we just need a motion.
So moved.
Does that mean?
All right, we have a motion from trustee Constant, I think a second from trustee Schutz, and all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, motion carries 5-0 plus 2 student board members. And we're moving on to 7.3, approval of superintendent's contract.
May I?
You may.
Thank you. I don't think he wants to introduce his own contracts,
Oh,
but
okay.
I'm going to say stuff that I probably shouldn't say, and Brad will probably get upset because it's HR related, but I'm going to talk about our hiring process when we chose this guy right here. And, you know, we reviewed tons of resumes, and we interviewed a good number of people. And I remember when John, someone who had never been a superintendent, came in front of us looking to be the superintendent. And the thing that left the biggest impression on me is he had a spreadsheet of sorts and he said something to the effect of, the best way I can explain my leadership style is to show you how I selected people to work with me when I opened Antelope and my time through the district. And more important than that, I want to show you where these people went. And he talked about the individuals he hired, what they did here, and then where they went on to succeed. And I remember talking to my colleagues, and Heidi was the only one there with me at the time. And we had a discussion. I remember saying, what we need is somebody who knows how to identify talent and who can pick the right people for the right job at the right time. And he might not know all those things about being a superintendent, but we can fix that. But you can't teach someone to have the insight to find the right people. And that was the thing that pushed me to push for John to get the position. And I will say, his track record here has been about 95% since we got him here. And you can't, we'd love to have 100, but we know how that goes. You can't anticipate everything. But he has really delivered on what he promised. And to me, that meant that we made the right decision. And we picked the right person at the right time for the right position. So I'm glad you're still here. I'm glad you still put up with us. And I'm very happy to be part of renewing your contract.
I'll just add to that, I'm really grateful for the leadership that you offered to our district, Superintendent Becker, and the energy that you have to address all the needs of our growing district, the many different issues that come your way. And again, the team that you have surrounded yourself with really speaks to who you are, and that they have come. And I'm just so happy with the development of our district, where our district is at. And I so appreciate and I'm grateful that you want to sign a 3-year contract with us. And I will look forward to voting yes on that.
So as Pete mentioned, yes, it was Pete and I and 3 other board members who are no longer here that got to sift through the piles of applications and packets that candidates had sent in. And I don't know if you remember, Pete, but do you remember who my number 1 was right from the beginning? That I compared.
That guy we didn't hire? No.
No, it was Mr. Becker. And I would compare, in my mind, that was my process. Like, he was my bar, and I compared, each one to him. And I have no regrets. So it was quite a process, and it's been a great few years. And I thought, man, he knows this board and he knows us, and he still wants to hang out with us. So like, that's courageous. And now working, it's interesting. I've always loved our district. I've always appreciated our district very much, but working in a county role and getting to go to neighboring counties and many events, our district's sort of a big deal. We're kind of famous for our functionality, our efficiency, our superintendent, our staff, our teachers, our schools, and I appreciate it at a whole new level. And so that's been really remarkable, and all because of him and the team that he has created, as Trustee Constant referenced. So I will also be very excited to move this through, but let's hear from everyone. Anyone else that would like to say anything?
I'll just say I always have great confidence in you no matter what comes up, and I always know that you and your team will address and take care of whatever's going on. So I appreciate that about you, and I'm also happy that you're willing to sign another 3-year contract. And again, just, we always talk about our community in Roseville, and I'll say Grant Lake also, just, but our community as a whole, and Sacramento, Antelope, that people love to be here, and it's largely, especially for families, it's because of schools, and I'm so grateful I'm in this community, and this whole team is a part of what makes it just so wonderful. So I'm also happy to get to vote in a moment.
Yeah, I think that when I said about Rob having that perspective coming from our high school as our principal, really brings brings a lot to the job you do as superintendent, and I think there's value in that with all of our administrators who've been in those roles, so. Anyways, thank you.
All right. Student board members, we're considering renewing Superintendent Becker's contract. Do you guys have any thoughts?
If you say no, we won't do
Right.
it.
No pressure. I just don't want to leave you guys out of the conversations. So, all right.
Can I make a motion to
Yes.
approve?
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? No, and we need cutout faces. That should be a thing now. All right, motion carries. All right, finally, we've got our staff reports. Any staff comments tonight? Brad's pointing at someone.
First of all, I'm extremely humbled by what happened tonight. Didn't expect it. Tonight was supposed to be a celebration about Rob. For the last few years, we've been working together. He's made me a better assistant superintendent. He is going to continue to lift this district and the HR department up. He's a remarkable administrator, a remarkable person. So he is a true servant leader. He understands what needs to be done, the value of relationships. What he's done over the last few years is learn the more technical side of HR. And together I think, and with Diana's help, Christensen, we've improved that HR department, made it stronger through cross-training and just learning because it's constantly changing in terms of the rules and the regulations. So he now has that technical side, and I've been gradually giving him a little bit more responsibility just so he knows what he's getting into. He's well prepared. I could not return tomorrow, and this district wouldn't miss a beat. He is the right decision and the right person to put into that job. The people over here in this room who have been my colleagues and my friends, my co-principals, co-administrators. Denise and I started together at Roseville High School in 1989 together. Several former students in the room, as well as my family, all providing that support. Any success I have is because of the people in this district that I've worked with and the relationships that I've made and the support of my family and my friends. There were some colleagues that left a little bit earlier, but they're co-HR folks. You had Jim Ferguson from Dry Creek. You had Elena Del Favio from Placer Union. You had Mark Williams from Placer County Office of Education, Colleen Slatterly, who's retired from PCOE, Steve Williams, who's retired from this district. The only way you get better in HR is to continue to have conversations with each other and run ideas past each other and try to come up with solutions. And so we have a strong network, and Rob's plugged into that network. So this district's going to do well because of that. And Rob has the confidence and support of some of the most important people in this room. That's our principals. In addition, RSCA, despite what Brandon says, is supportive of the decision. He understands that. Our philosophy in HR has been that our job is to take care of the people who are taking care of our kids every day and to provide the best customer service. Make sure we're hiring the best and we're taking care of them from job posting to retirement. And so if I did anything right in the last 37 years, it was to help that man get ready for this position. So thank you.
All right. And then Heidi. Yeah, just some final comments from me. One, just want to say thank you again for allowing Rob to step into this new role. Thank you for the contracts for the assistant superintendents, because they really are what happens behind the scenes. And very few districts actually allow boards and assistant soups to interact and collaborate and work together. And it's always, to me, it's a pleasure that they're able to do that. They enjoy it, and so I appreciate that. And then I appreciate, my contract, because again, I get the opportunity to represent the people in this room, the people in our organization, our school district, and that's a great gift to be able to, one, work with people. Each year, there's a few of them that retire and leave us, and then we have a new set that come in behind it, and then eventually we're going to be the 30-plus year veterans sitting there waving to everybody. But I appreciate that, but it's just a thank you all around for tonight, because, we're celebrating Brad, but we also got continuity and leadership, and I think it helps us grow and get better. So thank you.
Right. Thank you. Any other staff comments? No? All right. Item 9, our Horizon report, just some upcoming meetings. I do see that the 10/28 meeting has a little asterisk, which means it's tentative, maybe canceled.
Yeah, we'll most likely have it. We have a Veterans Day resolution we want to do, because our meeting would have fallen on Veterans Day on November 11th. It's now the next week in November, and so we have that, and so we'll get together. It might be a lot on the agenda, but at least for that and maybe one other item, so.
It'll be happening. All right, excellent. Well, with that, do we have, and 9.1, pending agenda items. All right, motion to adjourn? Anyone?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All right, motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor?